somebody wrote in the chat, roles are kind of blending. I mean, I do jobs that are not the producer's job, where I'm like doing a full-on mix, and then I send my mix off to a mixer, and then they mix it, and that's great. Like, and the shit sounds better, and I'm not worried about that. Just like you're not worried about in the quote-unquote mix stage doing things that might be considered production. I think we're in this era where
just don't ask for it. If it's not offered to you, don't ask for it. I'm not going to ask for more points or credit because I did that move. I think it's a production move. I'm not going to lie. I mean, the couple people that know I did that are like, yo, but that's a producer move. It's like, yo, but it sounds better. I don't care. The record's better because of it. Yeah. What I need, you're going to pay me an extra whatever dollars because I did. Like, who? Why?
Well, and you're going to have to ask for it,
right.
And you're going to say, hey, I know you didn't hire, but I did this thing, and now you like it, so why, you have to give me more money. And and we talked about this actually on the Discord this week, what you want to be, or maybe it's in DMs, I don't know. What you want to be is the person that gets hired over and over. And if you're a person who, as an engineer, makes production contributions that lead to an amazing record, an amazing big hit record, but it turns out you're
going to get hired.
If you don't have a point on it, but if it's a big hit, your price just goes up. You get points next time, and that artist or band or label or everybody around is going to want to work with you forever.
That happened to me.
Don't stress about that shit. Yeah.
One of the biggest songs I worked on, I didn't get a point. I have a point on everything else since because of that. We'll just keep it that simple. But I do want to add one more thing to what we were talking about, and just kind of a personal story. Because a lot of people on here know, and for those that don't know, Tony Maserati was my mentor for 5 years. And he basically straight up told me not to be a mix engineer. He's like, you know how to produce. You're lucky enough to have the skills to do it. Get in sessions. Let's get you a pub deal. And you're going to be a producer who can also mix, but you're going to be a producer. And I went down a rabbit hole for 2-3 years, being in back-to-back sessions and staying up late at night and mixing records to pay bills, whether it's for him or for my own clients. And I was actually like, I went through a bunch of months to a year being kind of bummed that when I went back to mixing and doubling down on mixing, that like I had missed out on a few years. But when I really sat with it and reflected on it, that was invaluable time spent.
100%. Getting
no real cuts. Like a couple of cuts came out with some artists that are like C/B level, and I made $0 from it. The experience was invaluable of what I'm talking about, like how to make the arrangement work when you something just isn't working, and like they're sending it to you to finish, and you can confidently make bolder moves because you kind of understand the intention that could have happened in the room and just missed because of some variable that happened that day. Anything from hunger to a lack of a tool,
Basically, my whole life is that, and I haven't settled on anything. But that's what's made me a successful record producer.
You like that. You thrive in that. We talk about that on a lot of episodes. That's what you like. I don't like it, and I'm glad I found this because I wouldn't be as successful as you are as a I do everything person.
Yeah.
I'm too hyper focused. To a fault, I'm sure you would agree too.
No, it's just the difference, and this is why we complement each other nicely. Is you go down a very singular rabbit hole more often than I do, and so I get that from you, and I also think that I maybe pull you back from that in some conversational way. I think it's a great thing, and that's the thing we always talk about is when you're starting out, do a million things, try a lot of stuff. And then you'll find the thing that you like the most, that's the most profitable, that's the most soul fulfilling, and you can weigh those things, because we do have, like somebody said, the roles are blurred now. Like I've said this before, but if I were 14 right now and just discovering music, I would be a producer, mixer, artist, photographer, fashion designer, YouTuber, TikToker. I would just do all that shit. But I'm 37 now, so I produce records.
Well, the ironic part about all of this in the Tony story was Tony said to me before the production move back to the mix move, invaluable advice was, you do what people pay you to do. And I was like, that's interesting because people pay me to mix. Why are you telling me to be a producer? You know, and that was the irony because now people pay me to mix very consistently. And I'm like, I'm clearly a mixer. So once I remembered that advice, doubled down on it, I got better at it. Right. Yeah. Like I got, I'm still not, you know, getting hired by everybody, but I get consistently hired by the same people. So I must be doing something right. And that's, you know, that just took some back and forth and self-reflection and, you know,
it's the hero's journey. It's very Joseph Campbell. You had to leave home and you get a test and you do a different thing, but then all of a sudden you come back home and you've learned a lesson and now you're better for it.
A lot of lessons.